Let's be honest, that heavy feeling in your chest? It didn't just appear out of nowhere. It wasn't a sudden event, it was a slow, calculated process. It started the moment you let your guard down and trusted someone, only to have them use that trust against you. You thought they really got you, that they understood your mind. In reality, they were just studying it. They were cataloging your insecurities, your habits, your deepest desires. And then, one day, you looked around and realized you were losing a game you didn't even know you were playing. You told yourself it was love, but the truth is, it was control. It was a silent, invisible occupation of your mind. They made you believe that every decision was yours, when in fact, every single move was engineered by them. The most dangerous part? You never even suspected it. Because real manipulation doesn't shout, it whispers. It hides behind a smile, disguised as care or concern, making you feel special until you're trapped in a reality they've constructed for you. But listen closely, because today, we're not just talking about what happened to you, we're talking about how to take your power back. The trap usually begins with an overdose of attention. In the beginning, they make you feel like the center of the universe. Every text is answered, every word you say is validated, it feels perfect. But that's the bait. They're getting you hooked on their presence. Once you're addicted, they pull back. Suddenly there's distance. You're confused. You start asking yourself, what did I do wrong? You start trying harder, and just like that, the power dynamic has shifted. The control is in their hands. Then comes the guilt. They masterfully make you feel like you are the cause of every problem. If they're upset, it's because of you. If they're pulling away, it's because you didn't do enough. You start shrinking your own personality, walking on eggshells because you're terrified of losing them. That is the moment you lose your leverage. They will also test your boundaries, a late reply here, a dismissed feeling there. If you don't call it out, they realize they can cross any line. They'll use comparison, subtle gaslighting, and the push-pull technique to keep you off balance. One minute they're your soulmate, the next they're cold and distant. You find yourself constantly chasing clarity that they refuse to give, because your confusion is their weapon. So what do you do now? Do you walk back into that cycle, or do you decide that you're done? Taking back control isn't about playing games back. It's about becoming impossible to manipulate. The moment you truly understand your own value, you no longer need their constant validation. You start setting boundaries that aren't negotiable. You stop apologizing for existing. And most importantly, you stop making your happiness dependent on someone else's mood. When you start pulling away, they will try to reel you back in. That's the pull phase of their cycle. They'll flood you with attention, act like they've changed, and promise the world. Don't be fooled. It's not a breakthrough, it's a strategy. When they feel you slipping away, they panic, not because they love you, but because they're losing their control. Your new weapon is neutrality. When they pull, you remain steady. When they go silent, you don't fill the void with anxiety. When they try to reward you for compliance, you stay grounded. When you stop reacting, their game falls apart, because their game is entirely dependent on your reaction. Ultimately, this isn't about fixing them, it's about fixing the part of you that allowed this to happen. It's about realizing that you don't need to save anyone at the expense of your own peace. You are not a project. You are not a target. If you've been through this, you've learned the hardest lesson. From here on out, you observe, you analyze, and you choose yourself first. Because the person who controls their own mind is the only person no one can manipulate. The game ends when you decide it does. And today, you've made that decision.